Good afternoon. My name is Jeannie Sweeney, and I am the founder and CEO of the Above Board Chamber. And we have an amazing meeting today. We are so excited about this webinar. We're going to be talking about respecting the trades. There are so many opportunities for people in Southwest Florida to learn trades and have a better future, that we just want the community to know in Southwest Florida that these things are there for you. So you're going to find out about schools, you're going to find out about opportunities, and you're even going to learn a little bit about opportunities for salaries. And these programs are amazing. So welcome today to the Above Board Chambers webinar. What we usually do is we usually used to meet in meetings in Lee and Cuyler County, where both our counties are part of our membership, but this time around we do webinars. We've been doing webinars since the beginning of the year, since virus started. So we want to make sure that our members in our community get good educational programs that will help them with their businesses, and this is one today. So thank you for joining us. We also work with our members. It's a membership organization where we help our members do a lot of things. For instance, on our website, they can put up, they have free benefits. They can put up press releases for free. They can put blogs up for free. They can put events up for free. So we're very excited in ways that we can help them. In today's, everybody that has listened to today's program, I just want to let you know you will all be getting a copy of this program once it's organized and put together sometime today or early, the latest tomorrow morning. So we're going to start the program, and we couldn't do it without our sponsors. So we want to take our favorite sponsor. That's Tim over at Conditionaire. Tim, you want to tell us a little bit about Conditionaire? And thank you for being our sponsor.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Again, my name is Tim Dupree, President, CEO of Conditionaire, and we are a full-service residential HVAC company, light commercial, servicing from basically all of Southwest Florida, from Bradenton south to Marco Island. And we focus on the full circle of business with our customers. So we service that piece of equipment over the life with service, maintenance, and then eventually replacement, and start the process all over again. And we are celebrating 58 years in business and just shy of 350 employees currently, which is part of our growing team and why we're heavily invested in the trades and continuing education. And that's why we wanted to be a part of today's broadcast.
Well, thank you. One of the things that I really appreciate about Conditionaire is, and a lot of people don't know that, they don't make commissions when they're out there. So when a tech comes to your home, he's not going to try to sell you something you don't need. So you can trust Conditionaire. The founder of Conditionaire, or the owner, I think what we call Theo, is he actually won the Ethics Award in Southwest Florida. And that's the way that company runs. So we are proud to have him as sponsors and members and friends. So thank you, Tim, for what you do in Southwest Florida. And you're growing in different areas as well, correct?
That is correct. Yeah, we have our Sarasota division is a growing team, but our company's growing across our entire geographic footprint. And July of this year, we just moved into our 52,000 square foot Fort Myers hub, which is where I'm sitting right now. So that was a huge, exciting step for us in the future of the company.
Well, we're excited and we can't wait to hear more in a little bit. But first, I want to talk to Marianne Kern. Marianne's Executive Director of Page Center in Cuyler County in the Immokalee area. Marianne, are you there? Pop up? Come on, let me see you. There you are. Tell us what's going on with PACE. It's one of everybody's favorite nonprofit organizations in Southwest Florida. And we really appreciate, because you are part of making futures for these girls and you totally make a difference. So tell us what's going on.
Thanks, Jeannie, and thanks everybody for tuning in today. Usually when I'm speaking to the Above Board Chamber this time of year, it's to talk all about Love That Dress and the girls. So today I'm going to be speaking briefly about what we're doing with the girls out in Immokalee, and then to tell you about how we've rallied around a new way of fundraising without having Love That Dress. So right now, I'm sitting at the center. Unlike Lee and Collier County Schools, we have pushed back our girls' attendance to September 14th, which is Monday. So beginning on the 31st, they have been doing virtual learning with us, and then they will actually physically be in the center on Monday. So all the staff is here and we're getting very excited. for them to return. And what we've heard from other PACE centers who've had girls come back is that everybody has missed each other so much, and that being together as a staff and as a student body has just, you know, made everybody feel good, and morale has been boosted. So we're very excited about that. Just like all the other nonprofits, you know, we had to cancel all of our events. When this happened in March, our annual luncheon was scheduled on March 25th. That had to be canceled. And then Love That Dress was scheduled for August 25th, and that had to be canceled also, but for safety reasons. I want you to know, though, that we are just, you know, taking the bad and turning it into good. And we're getting more creative with how we can sustain the center and all the programs that we do for the girls. And so we came up with a couple of new ideas for the fall that I hope that you will join us with. I want to say that Jeannie Sweeney, Sue Huff, and Vicki Tracy have joined in already for our We Can't Have Love That Dress, but we can have a silent auction. So we tried to come up with something catchy. You know, we can't have it, but we're going to do something. And we put together a silent auction of about 100 items using a new GiveSmart platform. And I want you all to, because I only have one more minute to speak, in the chat, I have put my email, and I've put the auction link. You can go in as of this morning and check out everything that people have donated. Jeannie's auction, Sue's auction, and Vicki Tracy has donated some purses. There won't be a lot of dresses. I know you're used to seeing dresses at Love That Dress, but we did keep the auction live and spirited, and a lot of our local restaurants are involved, and we're just happy to be able to do something to make up for what we've lost this year with all of our fundraisers. And just like our other fellow charities and nonprofits, I mean, we're all trying to get through this and do it together, and we support each other, and it's going to be interesting this fall and also this spring. But I do want to just thank everybody, and also mention that we're doing a back to school supplies drive that Jeannie has also graciously posted on the Above Board Chamber website and newsletter. And, you know, just thank you for all of your support through the years. I know that we recently renewed our membership with Above Board, and thank you all for responding and putting all the wonderful comments towards that new membership shout out. But, you know, we've been around for a long time. I've been out here in Immokalee for 10 years, and I couldn't do it without Jeannie and the support of everybody in the Above Board Chamber. So on behalf of all the girls that we serve, I just want to say thank you, and please check out our auction. It'll begin next week on Thursday and run through Sunday.
We are very excited about, thank you for your kind words, but the work that you do is you give people futures, and that's what this program is about today, is show people where they can have futures in the trades. And I'm excited that you're going to have this program. And as you mentioned to me the other day, this program that we're doing today, you are going to show in the classroom to the girls next week when they come back. So we are very excited about that. Again, her auction is going to run from the 17th to the 20th of this month. Are you still taking auction items?
We can take auction items up through the 16th, because we got to get them online. We don't have to physically have them yet because we have another week to deliver them to people. But if you want to donate, just send me an email. My email's in the chat.
Thank you, Marianne. Thank you for what you're doing for the girls. And
you're welcome.
You were really making a difference. So thank you.
Love it. Thank you, guys.
So now we're going to bring up our panelists. This is one of our favorite parts when we get to learn. So we're going to bring them up, and we're going to say hello to each one. Their bios basically are all over the place. We've had them all over social media. We've had them in the newspapers, thanks to Conrec PR and Marketing. They do our press releases. So we're excited. So we're going to start some questions. And I'm going to start, let me back up a little bit. I'm going to have you introduce yourselves a little bit. Tim, I know you did a little bit already. Do you want to add a little bit more to your introduction?
Sure. So again, my name's Tim Dupree with Conditioned Air, and I've actually worked for Conditioned Air. This October will be 23 years. And, you know, this topic is something I'm definitely passionate about because I started in this industry as an apprentice making $7 an hour. And now I'm president and CEO of one of the largest HVAC companies in the area. So it's a true testament to the opportunities that this trade, as well as other trades, can hold from a career perspective. And it's something I'm very, very passionate about.
Well, you didn't mention, because everybody's trying to do the numbers, that you actually started when you were 14 years old, which is pretty amazing because everybody's saying he looks pretty good for working all those years. But he started at 14 years old, and I think the story is at 17 you wanted a full-time job, and they said no, you couldn't have one until you were 18. And for somebody to go, so this video is basically going to go to a lot of kids, and I want them to know at 14 years old you started in a business like Conditioned Air, and you are now the CEO. So kudos to you. You are someone to watch and someone to be a mentor to a lot of our youth in Southwest Florida. So pretty cool.
Thank you.
Doran, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Doran Oxender. I'm the director of the Immokalee Technical College. Education's a second career for me. I started in the restaurant and hospitality industry and transitioned into education, finding my way to work at Immokalee High School starting in 1996. So I've been out in Immokalee for 24 years. I was hired in 2006 to develop and bring the Immokalee Technical College out of the ground, and we've just had quite a run here and enjoying it very much.
Are you still cooking? I want to know that part.
If I stood up, you would know I'm still cooking because.
Well, we're excited to have you part of the program. So welcome. Todd. Todd is an old friend of mine, and he has done some amazing things in Southwest Florida. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, my name is Todd Everly. I'm the Senior Director of the Lee Technical Colleges, which is the 3 technical colleges in Lee County underneath the school district. Prior to me doing this, since 2012, I was an assistant chief of the Cape Coral Police Department for 25 years. Retired in 2008 there, and now in 2012, I took over our police and fire, EMT, and Corrections Academy for all Southwest Florida. And I oversee also as the Senior Director of Fort Myers Technical College and Lee Technical College. I'm sorry, Cape Coral. They have their own directors, but there's a senior director for the continuity with the school district. So thank you.
Welcome. You are quite the busy man. Now we have Yolanda. Yolanda, welcome. This is the first time I'm getting to see you. So tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, thank you for inviting me to be part of this panel. It's a pleasure to serve alongside the gentleman as well as Mr. Dupree with Conditioned Air. Kudos to the company, and I agree with everything that you said about the company. They've been a big supporter of our school, and they helped kick off our air conditioning program several years ago and continue to support it as we look to expand that program. I'm proud to be the Administrative Director of Lorenzo Walker Technical College, who has been equipping Southwest Florida's workforce needs since 1974. So the school has a long history, and there's a lot of good work that's been done by the school since 1974. So I'm happy to be here on this panel and share some of the exciting things happening this year.
Well, we are excited to have you. So we're going to start our questions right now. So right before I start, I want to tell all the people that are watching this program, if you go to the Q&A down on the bottom, and if you have any questions that you would like me to ask the panelists, please write them in, and during the program, we will get to them. And when we have a minute, and try to get as many questions answered as possible. So go down to the Q&A so you know where it is. Tim, I'm going to start with you. What do you think is the #1 reason there is such a labor shortage in skilled trades in Southwest Florida? Basically the country, probably.
Yeah, it's definitely a countrywide challenge. And I personally think a lot of that has to do with the recession that happened in 2009. I mean, there's always been a challenge with the trades, but when you look at what happened with the recession, anyone that was in the trades, a lot of those folks looked for a different career path. You know, I know personally, well, our experience at Conditioned Air, we had a lot of people that just completely got out of the industry moved out of the state. And it's something from an educational standpoint that hasn't had a tremendous amount of focus on it. And I think that's one of the biggest contributors is that aspect. And I think that's one of our biggest challenges is overcoming that obstacle, is that the trades, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, it is a needed skill set, especially in Florida with all of the construction that we have here. It can provide a great career path for a lot of folks, and it's also fulfilling. I mean, we continue to see more and more technology move into our fields, so that's exciting for people that love to work with computers and things. I mean, most of everything we do with VRF technology, a lot of the outside air units that we're using laptops and technology to do the startup on this equipment, and that's something that's going to continue to evolve as the industry continues to change.
It's pretty amazing. I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they told me that their father-in-law, who had retired a while ago as an electrician, his old company called them back because they can't find electricians. It's amazing the lack, and that's why we wanted to do this program, so we can open it up more and let people know where the needs were and show opportunities. So thank you for that. Dorman, we have a question for you. How do you determine what training programs to offer in your school?
Okay, so that's a really good question, and it kind of goes back to what Tim said. You know, when we lost so many people during the recession and the downturn in construction, how does a technical college figure out what programs to offer? And I can tell you it's not Doran that decides what programs we offer. We work really closely with the Florida State Workforce Development Board, which has 24 regions. And the state compiles a targeted occupations list every year. And that list then comes down and gets regionalized. And these are jobs that are high wage and determined high in demand. So we then work locally with the Regional Workforce Development Board to actually tweak that state list to determine where the greatest needs are in Southwest Florida in what I'm talking about is a 5-county region: Charlotte, Lee, Collier, Hendry, and Glades counties. Those lists are really paramount for where we do our base work to try to find out what programs are required to train. We also work with business partners. We have over 275 active business partners that advise and steer all our programming. So that helps us stay abreast of where the needs are, and that helps drive what types of training programs we offer and which ones we should then sunset to open new ones as the need arises.
Excellent, excellent. It's almost like a math problem.
Yeah,
You have
it
to
is.
figure out all the components of it and what to teach. And I would think that it's getting difficult to get teachers as well.
Yeah, that's a struggle. We bring people out of the industry to teach that have years of experience, and we bring them in and help them learn to be educators, because that's a whole separate craft in and of itself. Yeah. And we do struggle some. I'm fortunate right now to be fully staffed, but I know Yolanda's got some needs at Lorenzo Walker as she has more programming. But we're pretty nimble. We're able to shut down and reopen a little faster than maybe the state colleges and universities, and a little more responsive to local needs, because we exist just to try to provide a workforce for Southwest Florida.
Excellent. Todd, it's your turn. How many technical colleges are there in Lee County, and what type of courses are offered currently?
That's a good question, Jeannie. So we have 3 technical colleges that are underneath the Lee County School District. As I said earlier, Cape Coral Technical College, and obviously it's in Cape Coral, Fort Myers Technical College, and that's in Fort Myers. And a part of that is that it's called the Southwest Florida Public Service Academy. We are a standalone technical college. We are affiliated with Fort Myers Technical College as an extension campus, but those main responsibilities is all the basic crew training for our law enforcement, corrections, fire, and EMT for all 5 counties.
Wow, that's a lot to take care of, but look at all the people. Did you ever try to figure out how many people a year you're able to in your
We're pretty, so if we're talking about the Police and Fire Academy, there's 40 academies around the state. You have to be governed by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. We are now the 5th largest out of the 40.
Wow.
And we're one of the largest geographically. So we meet all the, all the needs from every agency. That's every sheriff's department, corrections institution. That's every police department, every fire department, and EMS, EMT. They use our facility not only for basic recruit, but also the advanced and specialized training that is needed for their officers. They come to our site.
Excellent. What a great opportunity for people to do things. Yolanda, are you with us?
I am.
Okay. How has COVID-19 impacted student enrollment?
Well, my video keeps going off for some reason here, but we've been pleasantly surprised. We thought that our enrollment was going to decrease as a result of COVID-19, and that people would be a little bit leery about coming back into the building. But we've been pleasantly surprised, other than culinary, which was expected, of course, because the restaurant industry was the one that was the largest hit as a result of COVID-19 and businesses having to close down, is that program is low in enrollment, but all our other programs have a healthy enrollment. And we offer from practical nursing to airframe and power plant aviation. We have about 27 programs. And again, other than culinary, all of our other programs have healthy enrollment. Another surprising thing, and I think Doran alluded to it, is we thought we have 4 vacancies right now as a result of a rapid response grant that Governor DeSantis has provided. We've been looking to expand some of our programming. And I thought that maybe I was going to be able to secure instructors, since maybe some of them had been put out of work as a result. And the opposite has turned out to be. Right now I have 4 vacancies. One of them includes an air conditioning instructor, because again, very popular program. We're looking to expand. We had a part-time position open for the longest time and we were not able to fill it. And because I was able to get extra funding, have turned it into a full-time position. We've advertised it for over a month and still am not able to fill that vacancy. So there is a large need for teachers to come back and give back to the community and prepare our workforce in that next generation.
Wow, that's interesting. And it's difficult at the same time. You almost got to find out where the pool is, everybody that is retired, and see if you can bring them back and to help in the teaching program. So
exactly.
Hopefully that will be resolved soon for you, because it's important that we have the right teachers that are helping. Tim, I have a question for you. What is the current range of annual compensation for HVAC technicians?
This is one of those metrics that can vary drastically from where you are located in the country. And it also, as you mentioned in the opening comments, it also can vary depending on the structure of your organization. As you mentioned, Conditioned Air pays all of our employees an hourly wage.
Yes.
They're not incentivized on commissions for parts. But for us, the industry standard is around $50,000 a year as far as a median. I would say locally here in our market, from Bradenton south to Marco Island, an entry-level employee for us coming out of one of the tech schools, as Yolanda mentioned, we do partner heavily with the tech schools. A starting wage for them based on 40 hours a week is going to be around $32,000 a year. And that's not bad as an entry-level employee, especially when I reflect back on my beginning. I was making $7.50 an hour.
Yeah, but
that was a while ago.
Wait a minute, you were 14.
So this is true. But if you look at the higher end of that average, a C2 tech based on a standard work week, they're making around $78,000 a year.
Wow. That is excellent. So thank you for that information. I'm sure a lot of people want to know that, because it gives them an incentive to work a little harder.
Absolutely.
Tim, let me ask you another question. Do you have programs within your companies? Because I know, like in hospitals and stuff, if somebody wants to become a nurse and say they're a secretary, the hospital usually helps them with their training, and then they have to work there so many years. Does Conditionaire have a program such as that? If one of the employees wants to go into one of the trades, do you work with them?
Absolutely. So Conditioned Air has always been heavily focused on employee engagement and education.
Mhm.
So since there wasn't a real focus on the trades, that was something Conditioned Air internally started teaching our CAC University, which is the same curriculum that is offered in a lot of the technical colleges.
Mhm.
So that's something that we do internally. We typically do it in the fall just because the seasonality of the business allows us to do that. That's a continuing education program, as well as the apprenticeship programs. While helping Lorenzo Walker start their apprenticeship program, we also support the apprenticeship program up in Manatee County
Mhm.
at local HVAC association. We've had employees in the past that have attended the Tri-County apprenticeship program, and you have to have a sponsor to attend an apprenticeship program. So we will sponsor our employees. We ask our employees to basically pay the tuition up front.
Uh-huh.
And once they graduate and get their diploma, we actually refund them the tuition in full.
Well, that's wonderful. That gets them to do it and finish what they start. So kudos to Conditionaire. And I must say, my house is very cool right now because I use Conditionaire.
Thank you,
Little
Jean.
plug there. Doran, your turn. We hear about manufacturing careers needed in Southwest Florida. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, okay. Manufacturing, people don't think of Southwest Florida as a manufacturing hub, but the reality is there's an awful lot of manufacturing taking place in Southwest Florida. And it's prompted us to actually open machining at Immokalee Technical College. And then we also received a $3 million grant from the Florida Job Growth Grant Fund from Rick Scott, and opened an extension campus, which we just opened in Golden Gate City in Naples, focusing entirely on manufacturing training. So we're really excited about that extension campus. It's right off of exit 105, about a mile off the highway. And we're currently offering free application and tuition and fees to anyone that wants to train as a machinist, both at Immokalee and in our Golden Gate campus. So this is a great opportunity for people to break into the manufacturing industry. Very large partners. Arthrex would be one of the hubs there, but Shaw Industries, Luce, Pelican Wire, it goes on and on and on. Structure Medical, Progress Rail. We have over 45 different business partners, and there's a huge shortage in manufacturing, and we're trying to meet that gap with this new campus. And so we need to get the word out. We need people to train, and we're paying for it.
Let me ask you a question. How long would the training be for something like that?
Okay, so we have both short-term evening programs and the 1,500-hour machinist program, which is during the day. So it's about 1 year and 3 quarters. You are off in the summer, and we put you on a paid internship to work with one of our partners for potential hiring upon graduation. So the daytime program is 1,500 hours. The evening programs are mostly upskilling existing workforce members. And so we're bringing existing people from our business partners and upskilling them in various things, from mechanical blueprint reading to Sig Six, lean manufacturing techniques, things like that. But manufacturing is very on the rise in Southwest Florida. People just don't realize it. It's really all over the place.
Excellent. What a great opportunity. I'm glad you're sharing that with us today.
Yeah, and a brand new campus. So
great. Todd, I have 2 questions for you. One is Miss Trish Leonard. You know Trish Leonard.
Yes.
She's asking us, we need a technical trade school in Bonita Springs. Any thought on this?
Yeah. So Trish, actually that has come up. The Lee County School District's done a survey and did a study last year, and I believe how it still stands now. And this is, pre the COVID. They've been doing studies on where to put. They are interested in putting a 4th technical college in Lee County. And the 2 sites that they were looking at was Bonita Springs, and the other site was in the corridor off of 75 in the Lehigh area. and to put a new technical college there where the Fort Myers Technical College currently exists would move there with it in adding additional trades. I believe it still stands that they are targeting some properties off of the 75 corridor in the Lehigh area. And I do not know if Bonita Springs is off that plate or not to move it that far south. So, but right now, the last that I was told, and that was several months ago, it was in the corridor area of Lehigh off of 75 for easy access.
So Trish, I hope that answered your question. So that sounds like a good possibility. Todd, your other question would be, what does Southwest Florida Public Service Academy offer and who do they serve?
All right, and I think I kind of switched on you, Jeannie. I kind of gave you some of that information before who we serve, but I don't think I answered the question on what the other two technical colleges do and
Exactly.
serve. So if you want me to, I can, yes.
I do.
All right, so the Fort Myers Technical College has 24 trades, and they're a little bit more heavier on the manufacturer. I know Tim's involved with that. You know, they do more of the electricity, marine mechanics, auto mechanics, type of stuff, plumbing, welding. They do have some of the nursing CNA programs, but Cape Coral Technical College has 16 programs, and they're more focused on the nursing programs, the web design and digital design and so on, programs like that. So there's a little bit of a difference there where Fort Myers has more of the trades, the auto mechanics and so on, and Cape Coral. Cape Coral is looking at an expansion period right now and has been approved with the half-cent sales tax. They're going to expand that building on the current site that it's at, and are going to be bringing in more trades. I think the Cape Coral Technical College, and one of the exciting things that they have is the veterinarian assisting program, especially with Cape Coral now has their own nonprofit animal hospital and shelter, and there's a partnership there with that with them. But they're going to be adding some more trades to the Cape Coral for the demand, obviously being the second largest city in the state. There's a lot, but land-wise, there's a lot of growth there for Cape Coral, and they have some room on the existing land. They can go up and then they can go out.
Such a wonderful way to build our economy with these programs, because you're putting people to work, and it's just everybody wins. It's a win-win. That's why we wanted to do this program. We wanted to get this information out. We're so excited to have each one of you with us. Yolanda, are you still with us?
I am. Unfortunately, I'm having low bandwidth issues and my picture froze and now it disappeared, but I am here.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. What new programs are you offering?
Well, again, we received some funding from Governor DeSantis as a result of COVID-19. Which is allowing us to offer some short-term training programs. So we're looking to kick off home health aid, again, with some of our nursing assisted living facilities where now family members cannot go in. We know that there's going to be more family members that are looking to take care of their loved ones at home. So there will be an increased need in home health aid providers. And that's a short-term training program that's about 165 hours. So a student can complete it in about 12 weeks if we offer it on a part-time hourly basis. We're also looking to kick off electronic technology, or some people call it information technology. It's not that quite full of an electrician program. It's more for those individuals that work like on fire alarm systems, security alarm systems, outfitting your smart home. And there's a big demand for that here in Southwest Florida. We're gonna offer it in chunks, small programs, but eventually we're gonna have a full-blown program that will also take about a year to complete. Also, we received funding from the Richard M. Schultz Family Foundation to do information technology classes focused on industry certifications, or in offering classes that would introduce people to the whole computer systems network field. That program for network, those are 10-week programs that we're offering in the evening. Home health aid and the electronic technology for this next year, they will all be offered free of cost to any individual that is interested, since they're fully funded
Okay.
grants. So that's exciting to kick off prior to COVID-19. We're still trying to get that instructor. And again, that is no cost to the individual interested in that program. And finally, massage therapy. January is we're kicking off a massage therapy program. So lots of activity going on.
That's very exciting, and I'm glad that you're sharing that information with us because people are looking for these different things. Yolanda, you did answer the question from Christine, looking for teachers. You're welcome to answer that, so you can give her that information that's on the Q&A. So you might want to put your phone number or your email or something for her, okay?
Okay, well, good.
Okay, thank you. Tim, I'm back with you. What do you think is required to close the labor shortage in the skilled trades?
I think the biggest thing is we have to, again, partner with the schools like we've done. I think there's definitely with Immokalee Tech and Lorenzo Walker and Florida Academy, a lot of those programs are definitely helping. I think one of the biggest things though, as not only an employer, but people that are looking for this is really breaking through to the parents of the children. Because a lot of times, you know, I've heard people say, you know, and of course we all want the best for our children. In a lot of cases, if people did own their own business, whether it was, you know, drywall, plumbing, HVAC, a lot of times the children don't go into that business because they want something better for their children. But I think we also need to focus, especially in Florida, with the amount of people moving to Florida every day. You know, I think that's something we continue to see increased reports with COVID-19, people moving out of the Midwest, the Northeast. People are looking to be spread out, have some more open air. We're going to continue to see tremendous amounts of new construction and new homes being built. So the existing challenges that we've had with the skills gap in the trade is going to continue to widen. But I think the biggest thing, and I hope I sent you that little flyer that you can maybe circulate around when you send out the video of this program, and you compare, you know, an average tuition of a 4-year degree. You know, the student comes out expecting to have a 6-figure income, realize pretty quickly that you don't start at a 6-figure income, but yet they have on average about $120,000 worth of debt, where they can go into a trade school, have on average about a $30,000 tuition, and can get an internship, be working while they're attending school, and come out $90,000 ahead because they don't have $120,000 worth of debt hanging over their head when they come out of that. So I think that's really where we have to focus on, is to try to break through that stigma that, you know, the trades is not a high paying career. And it's something that's ever changing, again, with the technology. As things continue to improve, these jobs are going to continue to pay more and more and more because of the technology involved.
Can I add to that? This is Yolanda, and again, I apologize that my picture's not popping up. But yes, changing education, putting an emphasis on the trade, some of the things that we've done, and again, prior to COVID-19 for the last several years, is that I had about 17 of the elementary schools here in Naples that all the 5th graders would come through our doors to start introducing them at the elementary level of opportunities available to them. So it's our responsibility as educators to expose individuals to everything that there is available. Also, we've done a lot of work talking about career pathways, because it is not our daddy's VOTEC days, right? Where it was either or. It's now about, you can start here with a career in a year, get your foot in the door, see if you enjoy that pathway, and then you can continue to climb up the ladder in your chosen field. And I think Tim is a prime example of someone that has climbed up the ladder in an area that he had passion for. So that's one of the things that we try to instill in our people that we speak to, whether it's the parents, whether it's the students. It's not either or. Start here, get your career in a year, and then we have strong partnerships with Florida Southwestern, where you start something here, such as practical nursing. You can continue on with Florida Southwestern into the registered nurse program. And then from there, you can go on to Florida Gulf Coast University if you're interested into their Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. every single one of our programs, individuals have an opportunity to become business owners or continue on a career pathway. And I think the more that we talk about it in education as well as in our community, little by little, we'll change that stigma of the trades and what the trades has to offer to our community.
Well, thank you for that. That is really good information because it just shows you the process and how things can happen. I spoke to someone today that told me, and I'm going to be talking in a second about funding. And that's what his question is. How is it to enroll in a technical college, and is there funding support for those that need it? Before you answer that question, I just wanted to let you know that I heard today that the Fort Myers Housing Authority has some grants and stuff for people that want to go into these trades. So that's something maybe you all need to know about. So if you want to answer your question, go ahead.
Sure. So, the question is about funding and what does it take to get through a technical training school, and Tim alluded to the cost savings for technical colleges compared to a 4-year degree. I could even go under that $30,000 mark and say our most expensive program is $9,800. Most of our programs are around $6,000 to complete. We do not do student loans, but we have a ton of scholarship opportunities. In fact, 85% of our students are on full scholarship at our college. So there's all kinds of opportunities. We are a Pell granting institution, so if you qualify for Pell grants, you receive those, but CareerSource is another main funder through the Workforce Development Board. We have local opportunities for funding as well. We always say you'll get a career in a year and you exit debt-free with a 90% job placement rate. Those three numbers are pretty good. Career in a year, debt-free, 90% job placement rate. Again, to targeted occupations in Southwest Florida. So I always say, don't let money get in the way. Come on in, visit our programs, learn about them in Lee County, in Collier County. We're all the same. We're public technical colleges. We all do the same work. You always exit debt-free. And it is a lot easier than you think to get enrolled and be successful.
Question, if somebody in Lee County wants to enroll in one of your school classes,
Sure.
Can they use your scholarships, or they have to be a resident in the particular
Okay, so
county school?
So the scholarships would be school specific, okay? But I can give you an example. I may offer.
Do they have to live there? Do they have to live in the county? as well?
No, they do not.
Okay.
No, they do not. We are not tied to borders. I have a 60-mile circle that I market to, as well as all of us. And we'll steer people to Lee County, to Todd's schools, if they offer programs that we don't, and vice versa. So we have a pretty good collegial appetite to try to serve the full region and try not to get into turf wars at all. So great relationships in that regard. And the funding, it can go anywhere.
Wow, that's an important thing for people to know, and they can go to the day school and they can go to the night school. So thank you for what you're doing. Todd, what is the future plans for Lee's technical colleges? And are there any expansion plans if the market continues to grow in Southwest Florida?
So the answer is yes, there a little bit. And I kind of touched about it. Cape Coral
Yep.
Technical College is under an expansion right now. Currently, the Fort Myers Technical College is at the current site is under an expansion as well. The school district with the business partners in the community has seen a need to add a little bit more classroom space and add programs currently that meets the job market. So even without the new site, because that's going to take, once they find the location, the property that they're looking for, you're still 2 to 3 years out for a building to be up, getting certified, accredited, in identifying those programs and so on. So, the school district hasn't stopped. They understand that we need to keep on growing the programs that they have now and adding programs. So they have an expansion plan for both the current Cape Coral Technical College and Fort Myers Technical College. Here at the Southwest Florida Public Service Academy, we've revamped an older school. We're grown out. I think that's why we're part of the new expansion plans, that they're going to have to also move us into a location, a different location than where we're at, because we're the only ones that train law enforcement and corrections for all 5 counties for every law enforcement agency. And every one of those agencies are hiring. I know there's a lot of stuff on media and news and what's on all the sad things that are happening around the United States. That's not happening here. We have no problem filling classes. There's 2 ways to get in to be a police recruit or a fire or a corrections recruit. And that's either the agencies are hiring, they're sponsoring those, or there's a self-enroll and you have to have a minimum standard and there's a process to get in. Right now, we're about 95%, 96% sponsored in law enforcement all year around. We don't have a summer break. We always have a junior senior class going because of the demand, and we're 100% sponsored for corrections classes, and we always have a junior senior class going completely around the year. There's no summer break for that. Our fire, we are offering 2 to 3 fire classes a year and 2 to 3 EMT classes, and they are fully packed.
Wow. You must have waiting lists, I'm guessing.
We do. But, we offer so many spots for each of the agencies. If you're going to be, the agencies are sponsoring the individual, they get the first slots, obviously. Then we fill in with open enroll, and there's a process for those open enroll. There's a minimum standard by the state and a minimum standard that we set. We want to make sure that they're able and capable of getting hired, at least being able to go through an application process. So it's not wasting their time, our time, or an agency's time. So there's a little bit of a process for them. And yes, we do have a waiting period. The doors, we're flooded. There is no, I've been being asked the questions ever since all this is going on with the rioting and everything around the cities. Are police officers not want to be police officers? And I will tell you, not in Southwest Florida and not in the state of Florida. That is not the case. Almost every agency is hiring, sponsoring in the other 39 academies.
That's amazing. That's a wonderful thing. Do people have to get sponsored to get into it? Do you got to give recommendations?
No, if you're sponsored by an agency, they did all the background. They hired them. They're paying them. They're coming in as a recruit for that agency. If you're going to come in as an open enroll, you can put yourself through. And like I said, Jeannie, there is a process. There's a criminal background check. There's a background, there's a fingerprint process. There's a polygraph process. There's all kinds of things. A board, and then we pick those that are the best, that are remaining slots. But those are very few and far between right now for our police and corrections because they're all sponsored. Fires differently right now. Those are almost all self-enrolled, and there is a point system for them to get in.
That's wonderful. So do the the different 5 counties let you know when there's openings so you can work that together at the same time?
If we could do more classes than we can do right now, we could fill those classes. So we let them know when our next class is, when we're getting ready to start, and we have the training units are working with each of our, our coordinators here. And like I said, we have classes all year around, and that's not including the 80 advanced and specialized classes we do for current police officers and correction officers to keep up their, to keep up their certifications and advanced classes that we bring here on top of the basic recruit classes.
How many people are in a class? What's your average?
We are averaging about 35 in a class. We have a span and control. We have all the high liability subjects that go in. So we have about 35 in a class, and that's tight to do it. But we offer up to 35 in a class.
This video is going to go out to a lot of schools, and like Big Brothers and Big Sisters actually is listening to it right now, and they're going to be sharing it. How many girls do you get in there? Because you're going to hear from some girls that are going to be watching this. Is there a great opportunity for the girls?
Absolutely. And that is growing. Our minority population is growing. Our female, for wanting to be police officers or deputy sheriffs or correction officers are growing. I would say in a class of 35, we are averaging around 10 to 12 females in the class.
That's good. That's good to know. So when people are listening to this, we want to inspire some girls to go into these different programs.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you for that. Yolanda, are you still with us? I'm sure.
I am here.
Okay. What are the biggest challenges that technical colleges face?
I think the other panelists alluded to some of those challenges, including funding, of course, the need for expansion. Everyone has mentioned, and yes, there is a need to expand. I know here in Southwest Florida, taxpayers last year passed a referendum that would possibly allow for some expansion. We're still in discussion in terms of what that would look like and who would operate certain programs and where that new campus possibly could be located. So that, I think, and then of course the teacher shortage, finding qualified instructors to help come and help us expand are the biggest challenges that we're facing right now in education. Another new challenge, again, as a result of COVID-19, is that our clinical sites for our nursing programs, our certified nursing assistant programs, they continue to remain closed. And yet that hands-on experience for our health providers is so critical to the work that we do. We're doing the best that we can by providing simulation activities, by investing in simulation software. But again, we can't wait until those facilities open their doors again.
Excellent. Well, we wish you the best, and I know it's going to get better. So we're just going to go forward and get our community back up and running. Tim, right now, there's such a shortage with people keeping employees because people are probably trying to get everybody's employees, especially when they're certified in different things, because everybody needs them. What is the number one thing that you do to retain your employees? How do you keep them with you?
Well, one of the things we really focus on is you got to make sure that, one, from a cultural perspective, your people know what the culture of the company is. They're a perfect fit for the culture of the company. You know, that is one of our challenges as an employer, because the way we go to market every day is not the traditional HVAC model, because we don't incentivize our technicians or any of our staff to sell things that our customers don't need. So that is a draw, because a lot of times for us, we do have highly skilled technicians that prefer that model, because of course that basically puts them in full control of their compensation, but that's something that it doesn't align with our business model. So when you do find people that are a cultural alignment, especially, you know, interns that we get from the technical schools, it's really sitting down with them and taking the time to find out what their goals are. How far in this industry do they want to go? And mapping out that career path, and then giving them the tools to help them strive for their dreams. You know, one of the things that I'm personally proud of is we've had several employees that have been 8 to 10 year tenured employees with the company, but they've learned the business. They've gone out and got their own contractor's license, and then they've gone out and started their own business. And, you know, when those things happen, I just always encourage them. I said, just please stay one of the good guys.
Yeah.
Don't allow the trends that are popular in this industry to shift your business model into one of those bad ones. You know, stay on the good side, so to speak. So it's really that cultural fit, and also just making sure that we continue to invest in our people. You know, understanding the vision of where we're going as a company, understanding that the relationship with us as the employer is very important to the employee, but also making sure that that translates into the care we give our customers. Because if your people are happy, they're going to take excellent care of your customers.
I had one of your techs in my house, a week or two ago, and they were just doing the maintenance. And I said to him, because I knew this was coming up, I said, what do you think about conditioned air? And he said he's been there over 10 years and he would never go anywhere else. And he said when he had started working there, his wife got very sick. And very sick. She had a baby, got very sick. And he said, I couldn't work a whole lot. And he said, conditioned air was there 100% for me. And they just were there. He said, it's a family. And he said, it's the best company I ever worked in. And I just wanted to share that with you. And he says, I don't feel like you have to sell stuff. He goes, we come in to try to make your home or your business better. So it was just a great testimonial of the culture that your company has, how you do take care of your employees. So kudos to you. So thank you for that, what you're doing for people.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
Doran, I want you to tell me, and I'm going to ask everybody this question. John Smith, he just graduated, has no idea what he wants to do. He has no idea what kind of training he wants. He doesn't know. Do you have counselors in your school that will sit people down and kind of like a smorgasbord and say, we have this, 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 what is your process?
Sure. We have advisors at the colleges that are highly skilled in career advisement. And we'll do career battery inventories for people. We'll help them figure out what their aptitude is, what their values are, and what their interests are. And if we can match those three things together, we've got a perfect match for what career path people should start to enter into. We'll also let them test drive the programs. So if they're interested, I'll say, go out and spend a day in these three programs you might be interested in and come back and tell us what you think. So I think it's really important to advise on the front side to make sure that people find a fit before they get partway through a program and go, oh, I don't like this. And now they've wasted money and time. So the front legging or the front loading that we do on the front, the more time we spend on the front loading, I think the better it is for Southwest Florida and for the people coming to our colleges to make sure that they find that natural fit, because the goal is for them to be successful, and get them in the right program is probably paramount to that initial success.
I think that's really important, is sort of giving them a little flavor for each one. So they actually sit in a classroom, 3 different classrooms?
Well, yeah, I absolutely encourage that if they're not sure. You know, here's an example. They think they want to turn a wrench, okay, but they're not sure what wrench to turn if we were getting into the thing. So they could spend a day in construction trades, which touches on all the trades, including HVAC. Where they can, and then spend a day in automotive technology, then another day in heavy equipment service technology, and then a day in machining. Now they've got all our industrial programs, and then they could kind of meet the instructors, ask questions. More importantly, talk to students that are in the programs, because that peer discussion is probably more important than anything else. And it really helps people get comfortable with the training they want to land into.
That's important. Todd, same question for you, because you have a variety of different things that you were teaching. I mean, from your police and fire academies to your technical schools and stuff. That young woman or that young man that comes to you and says, I don't know what I want to be, and I'm graduating from high school. What do you advise them to do? And do you test them?
Yeah, and this is the thing, Doran, you know, we're pretty much, we all kind of work on the same platform. With that is that for Fort Myers Technical College at Cape Coral, you know, they have career specialists that sit down and talk to the young men and women. They go through the battery of tests, let them, like I said, test drive some of those programs to see what is fit for them. You know, we get a lot of mom and dads coming in with them and say, hey, you know, we think our son or daughter may be good at this. And so we let them see the atmosphere at those schools. Here at the academy, we get a lot of people walking up and says, I don't know if this is really what I want. And we bring them out. You know, we're a little bit of a paramilitary setting here, so we're a lot different than the other technical colleges settings, you know, a uniform and everything else that comes with it. But, you know, we're preparing them to be responding to us 2 o'clock in the morning for our needs. You know, they always say that for law enforcement is that the last, you know, once a law enforcement officer is called, you know, there's not usually somebody's going to be happy. They're called for a conflict for a reason. And it's the last thing that somebody wants to do. So we're trying to prepare these men and women and to make sure that this is what they want. You know, if they're open and enroll, we have them come around, they walk around with us, that they see the activities. If they're already being sponsored, they've already kind of committed, those agencies have committed to them. But yes, we're very hands-on. We're trying to fit, you know, find a place for them in society that they're going to better their communities.
I like that. I think that's really important. Alonda, the same question for you?
So in addition to what has already been mentioned with the advising available to the students, we also offer workshops, free workshops to anyone, whether they choose to come to Lorenzo Walker or to one of the other schools, it doesn't matter. So if you go to our website, lwtc.edu, you will see the ongoing workshops on career assessments, from career assessments on to those that are just interested in how do you write a resume or interviewing skills. We also have information sessions. So there's a variety of things that we do to expose individuals to what we have to offer, and hoping that they are able to find that path, that passion. And again, we work closely with our 2-year schools and our 4-year schools. We're fortunate to be in Southwest Florida, where we're not competing against each other, but we're working together to help individuals find that right career pathway for them.
Yeah, and that is so important on so many different levels. Tim, you're an industry partner with a lot of these. How beneficial is it for your company? And are you working with everyone at this time that is on the panel today?
We are. So it's been a tremendous partnership between us and all the technical schools. You know, I believe at the beginning of every class before COVID-19, anytime they had a new class, myself, our HR manager, and our service manager would go and speak to the new class and just talk about the industry. I know with everything else the panel has shared, they spend a lot of time with the students, you know, talking about resumes and dress and grooming, and especially in plumbing, HVAC, electrical. You know, this is a home service industry. We're going into people's homes. They need to feel comfortable with that. And your presentation, your speech, the way you carry yourself, that sense of confidence, those are all things that are very important. And something that we've found highly successful when we do have intern programs where while students are still in class, they can come to Conditioned Air. We pay them for that internship, and we actually allow them to spend 2 weeks in each one of our different departments. So they get to see what it's like to be a maintenance technician. They get to ride along with a service technician. Then we have them go with our replacements team so they can see what it's like to go do a new install. They can go in our production housing department and see what it's like to work on an actual ductwork installation with a national builder. We have them sit with our estimating and design so they can see what it's like to perform an energy calc, doing takeoffs off plan and spec. And then we sit down and say, so where do you think you want to be? What really did you find the most enjoyment out of in these different departments? And then we will offer them a position within that department. So they really get a choice. So I think with the partnership, the background that the schools are giving them, and then being able to see that in real life, working on it in a classroom setting versus, you know, climbing through Mrs. Smith's attic that's 180 degrees and you have to belly crawl, kind of adds a little more context to what the job requires.
Got to have good knees.
Yes, you do.
And that's excellent, and that's what I was trying to get to find out. They need that. They need that time in the business itself to sort of tag along in internships. That is a great thing to do, because then they can see it, feel it, and understand it a whole lot more. So that's a great thing. So thank you for what you do. So I'm going to ask, who's on the phone there? Okay, Dorian, we're going to boot you then. You're on the phone. Todd, okay, he's back off. Okay, Dorian, you're back with us. How do you find your industry partners? Is that something that you have to look for all the time? Is that an ongoing thing? Is that part of your job?
Yes, it absolutely is. Because what I think is most important for us is to stay extremely connected to the workforce, okay? All our curriculum comes down through the Department of Education through Tallahassee. And I always tell my instructors, that curriculum, by the time it lands in our faces, most likely somewhat outdated. We do teach the competencies from the state, but we have active business advisory partners, and I'm always recruiting for new people to come on board to steer the curriculum, to help tell us what is to be taught, what is needed out there in the workforce, and what should we let go of. And so our business partners are extremely important to how we operate. It's not coffee and donuts. They come out twice a year. We'll be doing this virtually this fall to host advisory meetings. This is when they get a chance to actually work with the instructors, talk about equipment needed for the program, exactly the essential learnings that need to take place, what they see in our internships and don't see, so that we can react back. That feedback we get back from the employers is mission critical to success in the training. So I always tell my teachers, yeah, read what Tallahassee sends down, but listen to your advisors. They're going to tell you what we really need to be teaching. So really critical. And I spend a great deal of time trying to foster those partnerships.
That's excellent. You have to be in the ditches to know what's there, and to ask those. It's so funny. Some people, they'll ask somebody that's an expert and they don't even live here. And they don't really know the turf, and they don't know the environment or the people or anything like that. So what we're trying
they become the future employers. So I always tell my partners, it behooves you to engage in the process of the training to help us get the training right for you. Tim's nodding his head. When you engage with us, that gets us right on what you need. We're not here to just train people. We're here to place them on a job. That's the mission. It's not training. It's not seat time. It's placement. And we can only get placement if we engage with business partners and listen to meaningful discussion.
And it's like what Tim said, it's the culture too. I mean, you could train somebody to use a hammer, but it doesn't always work if they don't know the culture of the business, and their attitude and is totally different than what's going on in that particular company. So those things, it's a whole bunch of things that have to work together.
And that's why we like the internships. The kids go out in the summers in some of these programs, and they come back to finish the next year, and they come out eyes wide open, because they're like, oh my God, I need to know this. I don't know this. And then the business partners also get to test drive to see if it is a cultural fit for them as well.
It's like a new birth, right? When they come back, they're ready to go.
It's so cool. They always think our instructors don't know what we're talking about. And they're like, you're right, I needed to know that. So it's great.
It's kind of like being a parent.
Oh, a lot like being a parent.
Todd, the same question to you. Do you remember the question? It's been going for a while.
Just go ahead and just refresh me.
We're talking about getting partners. Is that part of your job? Industry partners? How do you find them? How do they work with you?
It's a two-part. A lot of these partners, like Tim's company, everything, they want to get involved. They want to hire, the best people that are trades, and they want to, have that partnership. So yes, all the technical colleges around the state of Florida has those partnerships and those business leader meetings that we have throughout the year. So the answers are on that is yes. We entice when we know we're going to open up a new program to find out if there's a need assessment that's out there. We'll go out to the industry and say, listen, this is what we have. Are you going to support it? Will you be hiring? Going through, there's a little bit of a matrix for that, for stuff coming in. We have, like, Fort Myers Technical College has a very unique, it's called a turbine program. And these young men and women are going all the way out to Texas, getting hired and starting out at $70,000, $80,000 a year and working on turbines and generators and so on. So, there's a lot of needs assessment work that's being done. But to answer the question in short, just like the other technical college Yolanda and Doran has, we all have a very similar process, and we have a great partnership with the communities.
That's excellent. Excellent. Yolanda?
Yes, absolutely. We could not exist without our partnerships with the business community. And as has been mentioned, they give so much, whether serving on our advisory committees, providing guidance in terms of our curriculum, inspecting our equipment. Are we using the correct industry standard that they're using out there as well? Also very generous in donating equipment and supplies, as well as some of the companies have foundations, and then their foundations are generous in donating scholarships to students. So those business partnerships are so vital to our work, and I think it's a win-win for everyone. It's a win for the student, it's a win for the school, it's a win for the business partner, and ultimately for our community.
Excellent. Carrie Ann Texter from Conditionaire has a question, and I'm going to have everybody answer that. What are you doing to entice more females? So I think Todd allude to that a little bit. So we're going to jump over to somebody else.
I'll be glad to answer.
Tim, what are you doing to get more females in conditioned air? Tim?
Sorry, you referring to?
What are you doing to get more females into your industry?
I wish we could do more. We do have a couple success stories, Carrie Ann being one of them.
Carrie Ann.
We also have Winifred Smith, who's one of our sales consultants. And we actually have another success story. We did have a female technician, and she was actually a paramedic. They had moved to Florida, and she came into us. She was one of the students at one of the schools, and she came in as a maintenance technician for us and did a phenomenal job and has since been promoted. She's now one of our CSR dispatchers in our Naples facility, and really brings a great perspective to the rest of the team. She's one of the few that actually now has the field experience.
Mm-hmm.
Couple that knowledge when we're talking to the customers on the phone and help the dispatchers. We have supported, women in HVAC. It's definitely an opportunity that I hope, as this video is shared, that a lot of the females out there realize that HVAC could provide a great career path for them.
Mm-hmm.
We would love to have more women in our company. Most of our admin team, our CSR dispatchers are females, and they do a phenomenal job. We have our assistant purchasing manager is another success story that came into the company as a director of first impressions, basically answered the phone, and has had several promotions, and she's now in an assistant management position in our purchasing department. So again, that defined career path, and this is all a byproduct of where we sat down and just had the conversations with her and said, where would you like to see your career go? What are you passionate about? And then you give them the tools to help them be successful.
Excellent. And I'm gathering you all do basically the same thing. Is that correct? Yeah. I have an interesting question from Big Brothers and Big Sisters program in Lee and Cuyahoga County. And their question is, it would be incredible to have each one of you speak to our Lee and Cuyahoga youth in the Big Brothers Big Sister program. Our students interested in our Beyond School Walls program, where we work with local companies in the community, would benefit from hearing from a trade organization and colleges. So her question, Ashley's from Big Brothers and Big Sisters. I'm actually on their board, so I'm very excited for them to get information. So if anybody wants to answer that, or you can just write it in, type in your answer and let them know how they can get a hold of you, if that's something that you would do with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters, because this is a great program for them too. There's so many kids out there that are in these programs, and people take care of them to a certain age, and then it stops. So it would behoove everybody if we could all work together and get the kids in their programs like Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and get them blended with your colleges and your companies to give them a career and give them a future, because when you give them a career, you give them a future, basically. So
yeah.
If any of you can do that, if you could just put your answers in there, that would be great for Ashley. I'm going to go ask, who am I going to ask right now? I'm going to ask Doran, what do you do to recruit the girls?
Hey, we work really hard to try to expose, we have a lot of high school dual enrolled students, and we really didn't touch on that, but we normally have about 180 high school students from Immokalee High School that walk across the street and dual enroll, and Yolanda partners with a high school right connected to our campus. And so that helps us let young women look at non-traditional career paths, and then we encourage them. We've got a lot in construction trades. We have some in automotive technology right now. That would kind of be non-traditional approaches. But I want to defer to the rock star on non-traditional training. Yolanda, tell them what you do, because she's really done a lot of stuff with this. She's got some welding rock stars.
Absolutely. Being a female in a non-traditional, as you look around the state, men tend to dominate the technical schools. I think it is important to explore or expand these opportunities to young women, and then of course vice versa, the young man to enter also the health field, etc. A couple of years ago, first of all, we do emphasize and encourage all our young women to come through those programs. Second, our marketing materials, we always make it a point on our marketing materials, whether it's welding, auto collision, transportation, HVAC, to feature a young lady in our marketing materials. And then third is we highlight when we do have successes. A couple of years ago, we had a young lady, dual enrollment student, that was nominated to the National Collision Foundation, and she ended up being selected as the Student of the Year for the nation. Her instructor, and of course me, since I was a female and she needed a chaperone, we had the opportunity to attend the SEMA show in Las Vegas, which again, if you're in the auto collision automotive industry, it's the premier show that everyone wants to attend, and she was recognized as the auto collision student of the year. If you meet her, Rosalinda is probably all of about 4'7", of Guatemalan origin. So think in terms of the auto collision, and now put that face to it, someone that no one would even think that she would go into such a field. Us promoting her has encouraged then an increased enrollment in our auto collision program. My instructors in those areas, they love our female students. They say they make better workers than our male students. So we highlight all those wonderful things. I think there's great opportunity. And so we continue to do that work. Is it a struggle? Yes. Do we wish that there were more young ladies that took advantage of those opportunities? Absolutely. And I think, though, as we go on with time, we will see that shift.
Excellent. Todd, I think there's a question or a comment from Trish you might want to answer in there.
I already answered those other questions.
Okay.
I think I got them all there. Yeah, they're all.
You got them all there. I'm just making sure that she's getting answered. Do you want to explain any more about how you try to get females into your programs over in your school?
As I said, it's growing and it's on its own, Jeannie.
Yeah.
I think that, with the populations and so on, and seeing, what is going on, and we all use that same term, career in a year, but I think it's, traditionally when we were younger, it's either you went right into the workforce or you went away to college, and there was technical colleges really wasn't a thing, and after selling it and educating the communities on what this is about, someone's going to be fixing your boats. And as Tim's sitting here saying it's the same thing. Somebody's going to fix it AC, and when it's in the middle of the summertime and you don't have AC like I did for 2 weeks and waiting for everything to come in, I will tell you that people appreciate that these trades and what they do. Look at all the successful people around the United States that never went away to a traditional college, that are multi-millionaire billionaires, that have had a business mind, a business model, and had a product to sell or service, and it's out there. And so there's a combination there. But the answer to the female, that's a growing for every one of our programs throughout Southwest Florida and all these that they're struggling in some areas that you need a little help. But Yolanda already hit the one that you really didn't think about, and she's got a young rock star there that kind of paved the way for everybody else now to model after her.
That's excellent. There was one I don't remember, and Marianne's not on right now. They were highlighting her from PACE. There was a young girl that was in a PACE program, and she's like a rock star in Southwest Florida now. The things that she accomplished and the schooling that she has finished, and these programs are so important that we reach out to these kids and not just the kids. There's a lot of people that are adults right now that they're in jobs and they're not happy with their jobs. They're just stuck in jobs and they don't understand it. They may be able to go to your night school and learn something on the side for 2 years. So those things are, they're important that we get those messages out. Tim, tell us why that's important that we get these messages out. How do you reach? How can we help you meet more people and get more people in conditioned air? And how do they get a hold of you?
Well, I did put my contact information into the comments there, but
Okay.
I think the biggest approach is an example of what we have here today. You have a business that is partnered with all the technical schools in the area, that awareness, you know, anytime there's a career fair in any of the communities, we make sure that we're there to engage with the students and talk to them and provide the insights into a career path. You know, again, I think one of the most important things for whether male or female to realize is that one of the best things about the trades as well, especially in a home service business that I think is a lot of people have realized with COVID-19 is HVAC is an essential service. You know, that was some very wise counsel that I received at a very young age. You know, you have two options, the medical field or HVAC, because they're never going to go anywhere. And as Todd said, you can't live without it in Florida.
And everybody needs them both.
You got to have them both. And it's something that if you're looking for a career path where you never know what the crazy world we live in could bring in front of you, you pick a trade like that and you're going to have a career path. You know, I'm very proud to know that we've weathered the COVID-19 storm. We've kept all of our people employed. You know, some of their family members have lost employment through the leisure and hospitality, but yet they've still been able to survive this pandemic because we're an essential service, and it's, you know, I think 11 weeks of record heat in the state. So that's a blessing, knock on wood for that one. And we're able to keep our people serving our communities. And I think that's one of the biggest focuses here is, and I think that's what makes Florida maybe a little bit different, is that you have so many great organizations, associations, like the Above Board Chamber. You have people that give back to the community to build a stronger community. You know, I think that's tremendously important.
Yeah, we all got to work together. We got to be Team Southwest Florida, you know, and that's what's important, because during this whole thing, the Above Board Chamber hasn't stopped. We immediately went to webinars because we wanted to make sure we got the information out to our members in our community, if it was PPP or whatever it was, the loans. We wanted to make sure we get this stuff, because people need information, because if they don't, they get depressed. And some people close their business because they didn't know where to go. So information is important. Doran, do you want to share anything with us before we get ready to shut down? Is there anything?
No, I think it's been a great panel to help highlight, you know, technical training in Southwest Florida. I'd wrap it up and say is we're not your mom and dad's or grandpa's technical schools anymore. 70% of the jobs in the next 20 years are going to be required to have a trade or technical certificate as opposed to a 4-year degree. And so it's a paradigm shift to kind of say, hey, success equals a traditional college. Well, success could equal that. However, I've got at any given time at least 2 bachelor's degrees enrolled in here because they cannot find work because they don't have meaningful skills or skills that they can actually get hired with. So it is a different thing. It is successful. And I encourage everyone to revisit the technical colleges and what we all have to offer.
Yeah, thank you. Todd, do you want to share anything?
You know, I just echo, I think it was a great opportunity for us all to get together and to have the, you know, there's some collaboration here, especially with the businesses, to see what's going on. You know, everyone's still surviving. The pre-COVID, the post-COVID. I don't know if we're at post-COVID yet, but you know, I know we're getting there with that. And you know, it's just a great opportunity for everyone to see what is offered out there. I'm sure after election time in November, our economy is going to start growing again, and these job opportunities are going to come. There's a load of people moving to Florida from everywhere else from around the United States at record paces now. So Tim, that's more ACs, buddy. New construction. I know.
We're ready.
Yeah, but it's a good opportunity for everyone. I don't think Southwest Florida is a hidden secret. I was born and raised here. I think Tim may have been too, or at least been here since he was 14. And it's definitely changed over the years. And you kind of say, you know, well, you know, I wish it kind of stayed the way it was, but then probably not, because you wouldn't have these success stories that are sitting in front of you today, Jeannie. So I just want to thank you for asking me and offering for me to sit today.
Oh, we are blessed and honored to have all of you. Yolanda, you have any parting words?
Yes, technical colleges are a great place to start your career or to retool yourself should you be looking for a career change. Also, it's a great place for our returning veterans as they're looking to enroll in school to seek out the technical schools. Most importantly, we are affordable. And I know at least for Doran and us, we do not do any loans because we want our students to leave us debt-free. We're here for them to provide them that path to their future.
Perfect.
And thank you for providing us the opportunity to share.
Well, thank you for what you're doing, because each one of you are building futures for people of all ages, actually. And by doing that, you're helping their lives and the people around them, and you're building our economy. And that's what's important. It could be 1,000 people move to Southwest Florida a day. That's every one of them are going to need electricity, air conditioning, pools. So they're going to need all these different things. So we need people to be trained. And we hope when these people listen to this program after it's over, that they know that there's opportunities, that they can grow and they can have a future. And these are phenomenal jobs. You can maybe have to look at a book for a little while, but once you put that book down, you don't have to keep doing it, because you're gonna learn a lot of different things. I want to thank Tim right away, right off the top, for being our sponsor with Conditionaire today. Thank you for what you do for the Above Board Chamber and for our community as a whole, because you are totally making a difference. Marianne, I know you're up there somewhere with Pace Center for Girls. I'm excited about your program. The auction will be from September 17th to 20, and I think it's on Facebook. So let's get that information when I send a letter out to everybody in with the video. Let's put that in there. And with that being said, if you, each one of you have, I have your emails, but if you have something that you want to add to it, I know Tim does already, we can add that to it. So that's important. Our next program will be coming up on Thursday, October 8th, and on Zoom for new financial strategies in the times we're in right now. And we have some rock star financial people, and we're going to be talking about that and what you need to do with your finances, which is very, very important. So on behalf of the Above Board Chamber, I cannot thank each of you enough for joining today. I can't thank you enough for sharing. When I usually tell our panelists at our meetings, because we usually meet in Lee and Cuyler County once a month, that when God brings us into the world, he gives us gifts, but they're not gifts until we give them away. So I want to thank each one of you for giving away your gifts today and sharing, because it's amazing the amount of information that we learned on this webinar today. So keep up the great work that you're doing, because you're doing good things. So I think we're going to leave like a minute earlier. So unless somebody else has something else to say, but thank you all. I also want to thank Javier from Conrec PR and Marketing. He is their vice president in charge of web design. They design our website for the Above Board Chamber. He is our guru behind the scene. I call him the Wizard of Oz when we're doing our webinar. So if somebody needs something, they know to go to the chat room and get it. He keeps everything running.
CDC, the most common.
That is my phone that starts talking if you say a certain word. I don't know what I said that got it talking, but Javier, thank you for being there and helping us and doing the training in the beginning and letting everybody know what to do. So I wish everybody a great day. The Above Board Chamber is available if anybody has any questions. It's you can call 239-910-7426, or you can visit our website at aboveboardchamber.com. Thank you. Have a great day. We look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great afternoon.